Dragon Ball Super is shaping up to be a very consistent series. I mean, I can definitely say that without a doubt. It is definitely enjoyable. Now, it's not like every episode is getting better and better. I used to say that a bit, like around the episode 12 range, because they were just getting better and better, honestly. But these ones, honestly, they're not getting better, but they're staying consistent. You know, it's not like it's a huge drop off. The episodes are definitely enjoyable. So I did enjoy this episode. So I'm going to give you guys my review for the episode. So pretty much, the episode takes place where the last episode ended off, with Tagoma showing off his newfound powers. Turns out, like I said in the last review, like we found out in the last episode, Tagoma was essentially a punching bag for Frieza. Frieza tested out all of his new power on Tagoma, and it's not like he trained with him, but he trained on him, if you know what I'm saying. So, pretty much Tagoma said, hey, you know, I endured that for 4 months, and now I have a body hard of steel. And I was like, yeah, this guy's legit now. So, you know, that's interesting. So, ultimately what happens is Piccolo goes in to fight Tagoma. Tagoma's like, oh, yeah, you're nothing. He rips his arm off, and everybody's kind of shocked. And I'm like, damn, he ripped it off with, like, such ease. And then, you know, Piccolo, you know, being regenerative, was able to regenerate his arm. And then from there, Gohan's like, hey, I'll take it. It's just similar to the Shisami situation from the movie, but it's a little bit different, obviously, because it's Tagoma and Shisami's down. But Gohan fights him, and he's in his base form. And, you know, he's just like, oh, I'm not able to bring out my full power. Is it because I'm not training? I'm like, no, Gohan, why? Don't feed the fucking mantra. It was never stated that you had to train. I will forever fight that. That's bullshit. Just based on the nature of his transformation. It's bullshit having to train. Going to unlock potential. But anyways, that's a whole nother thing. If you guys want to check that video out, I do have that. I'll probably link it in the description if I remember. But anyways, he's like, yeah, is it probably because I haven't trained? I haven't brought out my full power. And, you know, he's fighting him. And Tagoma's like, yeah, this is definitely not what I expected. And then from there, Ginyu goes ahead and he pops up and he writes in the freaking dirt, change. And Tagoma reads it, and that's how he's able to change. I was like, wow. I didn't even know that was a thing. I was like, what a way to lose your body, just reading the shit on the floor. That's hella just deceitful. I didn't know that was a thing, like literally. And from there, Ginyu obviously takes control of his body, and you know he proceeds with Tagoma's body. He goes to tell Frieza, "Hey, it's me, Ginyu, yada yada yada." You know, reunion and whatnot. So from there, he comes back and he's impressed by the new body. It's interesting though. I kind of omit this, so I'm gonna go back to it. While Gohan was fighting Gohan said, hey, his power rivals that of my own in my prime, which is interesting. That really is interesting. And this just goes to show how screwed up the power scaling is at this point, because Gohan at its prime would be Ultimate Gohan. That would imply that Tagoma would be able to, you know, kick Super Boo's ass. And Super Boo is definitely totally fucking incredibly strong. So then if you take that and then you look at the fact that Gohan as a Super Saiyan was kicking Tagoma's butt, well, this is kind of going back forward because I'm getting a little bit confused. But ultimately, Ginyu swaps bodies. He goes back to fight. Gohan then transforms into a Super Saiyan. And then he's kicking his butt a little bit. He's smacking him around, which doesn't make sense because they even explicitly state, hey, he brought out Tagoma's body's full power. Unless it was a mistranslation, that's what they said. That's pretty much what I said in my last review. While Ginyu had issues manipulating Goku's body, I didn't anticipate him to have the same issue with Tagoma's body. Simply because Goku's power, while it was so great, a lot of it was dependent on the Kaioken. He was in and out of Kaioken constantly. And just simply because Ginyu does not know that technique or how to use that technique, he was unable to pull out Goku's full power. That's always been my thing as far as that goes, as to why he wasn't able to. It was never explicitly stated as to why. The only thing that was really stated was, hey, yeah, I can't control it. But it doesn't appear that he has that same issue with Tagoma's body whatsoever. And they do say, hey, he did bring out his full power, which is interesting because if that body's full power is on par with Ultimate Gohan, how is Super Saiyan Gohan kicking his butt? It just, I don't know, it's weird. And another thing I totally forgot, I totally forgot, because I just had to speak about Gohan so much. Gotenks did show up earlier in the fight, like within like the first 5 minutes. He shows up and he's automatically fused. We saw Goten and Trunks leave, so apparently during the trip there, they wound up fusing, went Super Saiyan. Apparently Gotenks doesn't go Super Saiyan 3 anymore, it is what it is. So he flies in and he doesn't land, he instantly just headbutts Tagoma in the dick, in the balls, and he's just on the floor. And that's how Ginyu does show up and change with him when he's on the floor. And he's looking at the ground and he writes it in, and that's how pretty much that shakes out. So it's interesting seeing them there. But, you know, Rhymestyle had wanted this to happen, so it did actually happen. They defused. And Frieza was like, what the fuck? Like, he was like, oh, you look familiar, and you look hella familiar. You look just like that guy that killed me. And he was like, you look like Goku's son. Okay, and then Frieza got pissed off. He was like, okay, these Saiyans have been multiplying in fucking like stature. There's so many of them now. And it's weird because he didn't comment on Gotenks being a Super Saiyan. It's very interesting. Maybe he didn't know. I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, he didn't show the same grudge towards Trunks that a lot of people thought he would or expected him to. I'm like, he's a kid. They ain't gonna kill a kid, yo. The way that they did this episode, there was so many opportunities for Goten or Trunks to fall victim to Frieza, and it just wasn't gonna happen. So ultimately, they defuse. They go back to hide with we see that and Vegeta are still on Whis' planet. I said they went to go hide with Bulma and Whis. They went to go hide with Jaco and Bulma behind the rock. But we see that Goku and Whis are still on Beerus' planet training. Well, in that alternate dimension, which turns out to be a hyperbolic time chamber type room, like a lot of us anticipated, because that's the only thing they really could do at this point, because it doesn't make sense for them to go train with like 5 minutes until Frieza destroys the damn planet. That's the only thing they could do, so that was obvious. It was predictable. But the interesting part, and this just feeds more goddamn Vegeta speculation, because the interesting part is that room is filled with God Ki. And Vegeta's like, what is this? Is this what you call God Ki? And the only way for them to move around is if they use Whis' training, where they don't let their aura leak out. They raise it and they condense it and control it, and it's not leaking. And that's weird because that changes the mantra of Dragon Ball. Throughout all Dragon Ball, all we saw was the crazy auras around them, and that's essentially not good. That's what Whis is saying. And so they can't move in that room unless they do that. And then they're surrounded by nothing but God Ki. So that's incredible. Like, that's great storytelling. It really is. Let me know you guys' speculations on what's going on in that room, if that plays a part in Vegeta reaching his transformation, or what the case is. But, pretty much from there, the fight resumes, and then Ginyu goes down, and then Gohan transforms. He takes Ginyu down, and the Frieza actually comments on Gohan going Super Saiyan. Like I said, he didn't comment on Gotenks being a Super Saiyan, but he comments on Gohan. He's like, I didn't know that his son can go Super Saiyan too. And that's when he tells Ginyu to stand down. Ginyu just subsides, and from there, Frieza just comes in, and he's like, yo, I'm going to torture you so Goku can show up and just be agonized. So what he does is he starts doing the death beam, similar to like third form Frieza was doing to Piccolo. He wasn't doing it all fast and shit, but he was just doing those death beams all over the place. And Gohan gets about 10 new glory holes all over his body. And he's just standing there. I'm like, Gohan, why don't you dodge? Why don't you deflect? Why don't you shoot a blast? Why don't you do some shit? He's just standing there. And I'm like, okay, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. And the thing is, I have so many mixed feelings about this, because I enjoy what the fuck they did with Gohan's character in Super's Resurrection F arc so far. I just didn't, in comparison to the movie, I don't like how they gave him a chance to shine against the soldiers, and then he gets one shot. I like this because he got to fight the soldiers, albeit brief, he got to fight them, and then, he turns around, he fights Tagoma, then he turns around and he fights Ginyu in Tagoma's body. It's like, and he's really getting it. Like, they know that Gohan is an important character, and they know that him being sidelined so much is not good for them as a company, because he's still a very profitable character. That's the thing. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings, because I don't like how Gohan just stood there like an idiot, but I don't know. And it's weird, because maybe that'll open Gohan's eyes. Maybe he'll actually start training. People, is not Chi-Chi's fault. The man is grown. He can go train if he fucking wants to. He doesn't have to sneak around like Goku does. He's not married to her. He doesn't have to live with her. He has his own fucking house. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. He makes the choice not to go train. But maybe now he'll actually go on and go train, because, he got his ass kicked. I don't know. I know that Mark is going to have a lot of fun about this. Shout out to you, bro. You guys, what's up, Derail? He was talking to me about this, and I don't know if we're going to do a video. I'm kind of fuzzy on it, but just talking about the older clips being reused so much. In this episode, there was a hell of flashbacks, and they just kept pulling Kai footage, and I'm like, damn. I understand you guys are pressed for time, but that just seems so fucking lazy. Like, you can't just reanimate those 2-minute scenes. I don't know. They had like 4 or 5 of them, and I'm like, come on, this is getting kind of old. I don't know. Like I said, overall, the episode was an enjoyable episode, and this is another 10-minute review. Honestly, I'm coming to the point where I'm just like, fuck it, they're going to be 10 minutes long, whatever. I just got a lot of shit to say. I just enjoy the episode so much, as you guys should be doing as well. So I don't know, just leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and once again, I wanted to ask you guys how you guys felt about that hyperbolic God chamber room. I think that's what Unreal called it in his video, but the hyperbolic time chamber / God Ki room. And if you guys feel like Gohan adds a little bit more justice in this iteration of the fight. But that's it for me, guys. I will see you guys next time. As I always say, stay swaggy, have a blessed day, and peace out.